I know ultimately that the best way to try something is to try to see if an idea is going to work, is to just do it, to just give it a shot, see what comes of it, and then you have definitive evidence of whether or not it works, and then you can modify and move on. But it's so hard to do that, to execute the idea. I had a day today where it felt like someone was telling me that I was a bad fitness instructor. And, well, I'm not the best. It's one of those things that has not come naturally to me. I am a much better yoga teacher. And all the ideas that I had about creating a yoga workshop just seem stupid now. There's like this part of me that's just feels like she's right. I shouldn't even try. I should never try anything. I should just stop. I should just give up. Which is not at all what happened or what she said. But it really made me feel down. I have such a sensitivity towards rejection and criticism and all of that, which is unfortunate because if you're going to teach, you're going to hear things from the people that take your classes, and that's just a part of the game. The feedback that I've gotten from participants, though, that has always just felt, that's like, it hurts my ego sometimes, depending on what people are saying, but ultimately, it's been good to hear, you know? Stuff that I hear from the people that I work for, on the other hand, I don't know why I always end up with adults, but I'm an adult right now, so like people in authority over me who are so terrible at giving advice, like, or critique. They're always just like the most unuseful pieces of feedback ever. Like, one manager once took my class, and afterwards she was like, yeah, you just need more energy. And I was like, okay, well, does that mean I need to talk more, talk louder, say random things, walk around? Like, what do you mean by that specifically? And she's like, just more energy. Like, one, that's just like what if I don't have it? How is that the description to teach me how to have it? And then two, it just made me feel like I was just bad at this. I'm just not an energetic person. I should just give up. And then three, she doesn't know this. This is not her fault, but I have a history of people in authority over me telling me useless pieces of advice, not specific pieces of advice. You're not good. You could be better. And then when I ask, okay, exactly how, like, what did you notice? I don't really get an answer, which is frustrating because how am I supposed to get better if I don't even understand what your criticism is? So today, one of my classes that I started teaching it's a yoga format class. The manager wants to change it because it has been getting a lot of signups, not because of me, but because of the timing. It's at 9 a.m. on a weekday, and not a lot of people are signing up, probably because it's a yoga class. This is a yoga and fitness studio, but they do a lot more fitness-based classes rather than yoga, and she wants to change it to fitness, and then she's just going to teach it herself instead of having me teach it. And that felt like her telling me that I was bad. I get her logic of why she wants to change it, but then taking over the class instead of having me teach the fitness class just feels like she's saying that I suck. And I think about all the other girls at the studio who teach fitness and they're great, and they don't feel this way about themselves. They don't walk around in their apartments wondering, am I good at fitness? Am I good at teaching? Should I even teach at all? Etc. And I've had all these like grand ideas about what I could do next and like what I should try. And I actually, for the first time in years, was feeling excited about an idea. But instead, this message from the manager just made me feel really low. And I'm trying not to spiral. It's just that there's a lot of pressure on me. And I'm just really fragile right now. And kind of confused and lost, but I'm just trying to find our way. One thing for sure is I do not like this manager. In the sense, she's a nice girl, but her and this other person who's a manager at the same company, they're just not good leaders. They don't tell you a lot. You're kind of in the dark. You kind of have to make a mistake to find out that there was a better way to do something. And they both give useless feedback. But I guess what I have to take it as is it benefits me. Like, having this class taken away ultimately benefits me. Now I don't need to find a sub when I go on my trip in March. And I'm gone for the entire month, so not having to find that many substitutes is a lot easier on me. And then when I come back from this trip, I'll only hopefully be in the city for another month before I move to a whole different city, which they don't know yet, but, it's in the works. Hopefully it happens. I really, really pray that it does. And, like, having less classes for them to take over is always going to be helpful. So ultimately, this thing is super useful to me. And she didn't say that I sucked. And I am a beginner, so this hasn't come as naturally to me as it has for other people, but if I keep at it, I can get better. And my problem is that I don't keep at it, but I don't know why I can't. That's why I started trying to figure that out, why my executive dysfunction is so bad. I'm trying different things. I got diagnosed with ADHD. I don't know if stimulant medication will help, but I'm willing to try. I'm willing to try anything. Because this is something that is important to me, and I'd like to keep going. And having this block in place where every time I want to practice, I just can't, is just not conducive to that goal. I feel a lot calmer about the manager right now, but the icky feeling I felt when I first saw that text, it just makes me feel like I'm crazy. Because why am I getting so bummed out by a silly text message? She was polite. She said sorry, but it just felt like they were kicking me off. And okay, the thing that makes me feel really silly is that when this new location was opening and I was in talks with this manager, I thought the people applying, or the people that were offering to also work at this new studio, were going to get a bunch of shifts. And I thought I was going to work like 10 a week or something. In the end, I got 2. And then what makes it worse is in that email, I had said I would like to teach at least 2 or 3 classes in a row to like make the commute worth it. And I got 2 classes total, and they're on different days. So it's like, and okay, a lot of the slots are filled with like teachers that have been teaching. Teachers with seniority. So if it was silly for me to ask something like that, I wish they would have made that known so I didn't embarrass myself in the email. But that's the thing. They don't talk about anything. They're not good at explaining the lay of the land, which is literally their job. So anyways, convoluted little mix, like voice memo of word vomit there. Have fun trying to decipher that.